What is up, guys? Alex here from technoclass.com, coming to you with a quick unboxing of the Cherry Mobile Flare S4. This is a new Octa-Core phone with a 5-inch HD display from Cherry Mobile, and it's kind of like a similar phone to the Alcatel Flash 2. It's got a Octa-Core 6753 1.3 gigahertz processor, but this guy is only priced at $4,999. So what's in the box? Is it worth it? We're gonna check it out. We got 2 gigs of RAM in there as well, 13 megapixel camera. Gonna unbox it right now. We'll see you guys after the break. Alright, so here is the Cherry Mobile Flare S4. Now, Cherry Mobile also launched 2 different devices with the same Octa-Core 6753 processor called the Flare S and the Flare S4 Plus. This is the smaller brother to the Flare S4 Plus, and they are pretty much identical in terms of specs to the Flare 4. Now, the reason why they gave us 2 versions of the same spec phone is that if you want the more curvier version, you go with the Flare a Flare 4. But if you want the more beveled edition, this is the Flare S4, and we have the kind of textured backing right there with maybe a crystal-like look right there. So this is the Flare S4. We're going to take out the plastic right there and boot this guy out. Alright, so inside the box we have a 5 volts 1000 milliamp charger, so that's a 1 amp charger. We have a micro USB cable for charging and data transfer. Looks like a 3.5 millimeter headphone right there, making a mess. We have a Flare S4. There's a little tie. Flare S4 user manual. Look at this. It's in black and white with some pictures, about maybe 40 pages. There we go. And what is this thing? This is a looks like some information about the Cherry Fun Club, the e-warranty, and the Cherry Play. Now, I'm kind of not a fan of the Cherry Fun Club. It sends me spam messages every now and then. But that's what is inside the box. We're going to look at the phone right now. Alright, so taking a look at what's inside here, we have a micro SD card slot, micro SIM slot, 2 SIMs. I don't know if they're both LTE yet. We're going to have to figure that out once we do the review. Underneath here, we have a 2200 milliamp hour battery, which is not such a big battery, but then again, this is, 4,899 pesos, so you can forgive a little bit of that. Alright, so here is the phone itself. This is the Cherry Mobile Flare S4, and it is kind of cool looking. I have to admit, this is actual real metal right here, and it's actually a very nice looking metal. There's a bit of chamfered edges right there. Looks like the micro USB port right there. Pinhole microphone, chamfered edges all around. You got a power button right there, a volume rocker right here, and on top you have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and that's about it. Look at those sides, man. They look really nice. Of course, they're very, very solid, and feels great in the hand. We'll talk about the design later. Alright, so here is the front. Alright, so we're greeted by this 5-inch 1280 by 720 HD IPS display. Now, I believe this is protected by, I'm sorry, not Gorilla Glass, Dragon Trail glass. And they're using a new technology of Dragon Trail that is 2.5D. Now, this is popularized by Gorilla Glass. But now, as you can see, the Dragon Trail is now in a curvy corner right there, kind of typical of the 2.5D that was mentioned before. Anyway, here is a 5-inch display. Now, I do have to mention there's a lot of black bezels around that display, which is very accentuated. But of course, if you look at it, the metal actually is right next to the black bezel right there. So actually, the bezels are relatively thin, but of course, that black border kind of looks noticeable, at least. Anyway, we have a speaker grill on top right there, although and proximity light sensitivity sensor, I'm sorry. We have a 5 megapixel front facing camera over there, and on the bottom we have the capacitive buttons that are sort of very near to the black bezel. Here is the home button, the back button, and the recents. No, it's still a menu key apparently. It's not a recents key. That's quite Interesting. So that is reflective of the OS that is built into this. It's not stock Android. As you can see, it follows a lot of the conventions of stock Android, Lollipop, as you can see right there. But as you can see, you know, her home screens are very similar, but you do not get the Google Now launcher on the left. Let's see what we get if we hold the home button. We get straight to Google Now. There's no swipe up. Swiping down gets us the pull down menu and all that. Although this is not necessarily an interface look, but as you can see, the app drawer is not stock Android. So yeah, there's also some pre-installed apps right there. I didn't install any of those. But you know, as far as the looks and design, that's what we're going to talk about. You know, we'll talk about this, the interface and our opinions of it much later on an initial review. So as far as the unboxing goes, we have these chamfered edges, and you can see that 2.5D glass reflecting from the light in my room. So as you can see, there's a bit of curve right there. Makes the phone look and feel really, really, really expensive, kind of, except for those sort of black bezels around the display. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. Anyway, that's it for the front, and I told you already about the sides. Now we're gonna look at the back. So here's the back of the Flare S4. Remember, this is the Flare S4. The Flare S has a curvy side, not the flat side, and I believe they have different textured backs as well. So Flare S4 has this, at least the white version, has this sort of crystallized pattern that reflects off the light, as you can see right there. Kind of like, you know, a diamond or something. So we have a Flare logo right there, a Cherry Mobile logo, a speaker grill with a little bump on the next of it so the sound can come off of the floor or the table that you put it on. Over here we have the 13 megapixel camera with a LED flash. Now they didn't tell us what this 13 megapixel camera was, and I believe that will be the #1 competing factor of the Alcatel Flash 2, because they have mentioned that this is an ISO sensor. It also has a front-facing camera flash. This, however, has a 13 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel front-facing flash with front-facing camera with no flash. So those are sort of the differences, but I kind of like this design. You know, as far as the design is concerned, it's pretty nice. The bezels are not so good, but they're what you can expect from a phone at $4,899. It's actually quite good for a phone that is 5,000 pesos. All right, guys, so I think that's about it for at least the unboxing of the Cherry Mobile Flare S4. We are going to do an initial impressions or initial review of this very, very soon. But as for now, for the unboxing, I'm Alex from technoclass.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.